Hi, everyone. So, in between running the main podcast, which is interviews with aspiring and developing experienced marketers looking at their own growth stories and words of wisdom along the way. One of the things I've been trying to get back into as a really, really good habit is reading. So, there's lots of material out there online, which there's various articles, courses, even just following some well-versed people on LinkedIn can be a really, really great way of doing that. One of the things I've really had a love-hate relationship with is reading, in the sense of finding some long-form books, taking the time to pick those apart and translate that into my own development. Because regardless of who you are or where you are in your career, I think the constant is that we are always learning and developing. I had a Kindle for a few years where I pick up books super cheap, load them on a device. The device would stay in a drawer, and I would pick it out maybe at Christmas and Easter and spend some time reading there. But one thing I've really been trying to do lately is be a little bit more consistent with that. So I've tended to make a beeline now for books which are not necessarily distinctly marketing related, but more around performance and development and challenging the way we think and see the world around us. So what I'm going to do in between some of the main interviews is share some of those what I've been reading, what I've taken from that, and hopefully inspire some of you to pick up or seek out other reading material. So do let me know if there's anything that's entered your reading list that I should pick up. But I will endeavour to share some of my learnings with you as we go. So just to kick things off, there's a few books I've picked up which I'm setting myself an aspiration to finish up by the end of the year, and they've also been great things for friends and family to buy me as well, because they're not too expensive. I can put them on a list. I don't have to really think too much about what I'm going to be picking up, really. So I can often have some books delivered from friends and family. So the three I've got at the moment are: the first one is High Performance by Jake Humphrey and Professor Damien Hughes, who you might well know from the High Performance podcast. So I picked this one up from Waterstones, not just because of its really nice embossed lettering. It was mainly because I was quite a late entrant to picking up some of the pieces from my High Performance podcast, and actually felt this would be a really, really good entry point into unpicking some of the core learnings and lessons. So I'm about a third of the way through at the moment, and there's a definite theme running through here about taking responsibility, how you approach situations, understanding what you can and can't control, and focusing on what you can control and influence versus not stressing out and worrying about the things that you can't. So there's some really, really good takeaways from that so far. I'm not quite finished yet, so I'll refrain from trying to preempt too much. But there's some really, really good parallels with successful sports people amongst entrepreneurs as well, and how their approach actually isn't too dissimilar from how we approach things in the marketing world. So far, so good. The second one I have on my list is Fortitude by Bruce Daisley. So Bruce Daisley was ex-Twitter many years ago. Did a lot around people and culture, and has since become quite a vocal and, I would say, measured and sensible voice amongst this whole working from home, working from office debate that seems to still be raging on. So his book particularly talks about resilience and the myth of resilience. Particularly, seems to be looking at challenging a lot of conventional wisdom, what resilience actually means, how you can become a more resilient person. So yeah, definitely from a blurb looks to have a real practical lens to that, particularly around self-confidence and just taking a different approach to be happier and healthier. So it's very much seems to be classic Bruce. So I will get stuck into that one after High Performance. And then the final one I have on my list is Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman, which actually came up during my conversation with Ashley Kate McCann. She cited it a couple of times during the conversation we had about how she's used some of the principles to approach how she plans campaigns, works with and understands stakeholders from different backgrounds. And the reason I actually bought this one physically is I did have it on my Kindle, but as I said, my Kindle ended up just relegated into a corner. It was easy just to slip away somewhere. So I've actually found that having a physical book that you put in a bag or have by your bedside or on your desk is for me personally anyway. I find it more motivating as the book calls out to me to be read, as opposed to somewhere where it can easily be forgotten. And don't get me started on the Kindle app on sort of tablets and stuff, which I've always liked the idea of it, but the reality is when you've got about sort of 50 notifications pinging around at you when you're trying to read and absorb something, it really doesn't work as well. So I've had this one for a little while. So hopefully having a physical version will get me really, really stuck into that. So I said, as I go, I will share some of my key learnings and takeaways. Do let me know if there's anything on your reading list that I should pick up. Hopefully, this has inspired you to pick up a couple of books as well. You can often find some of these kicking around charity shops, book exchanges in coffee shops as well. I quite like these physical versions, as I'm actually I can lend them and gift them to colleagues and friends as well, in a way that you can't really do with digital versions. So do look out for some of those thoughts as I go, interspersed between the main podcast. But enjoy your day and let me know what you're reading.